Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this incredible webinar on how to get tons of speaking gigs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. I see you coming in. First thing first. It's not going to be one of these webinars that you're used to. It's going to be actually very fun, very interactive, and they show. Now, if you're excited, there is one thing I want you to do. I want you to write whoop whoop here in the comment. Why do I do that? Because the more engaged you are, the more I will give you. You are speakers, you know the drill, you know how it works. So if you're excited about this webinar to learn how to get tons of speaking gigs, and as well to learn how we can help you get even more speaking gigs, just write me a good whoop whoop, and then we can get started. Also, I would love to know, please tell what is it you want this webinar, because it's going to be 30 minutes, so it's not going to be a long one. I'm going to have 30 minutes, and then for those of you that will love to stay longer, then I will have another additional 30 minutes Q&A. So that's how it's going to work. So first of all, I would love to know what is it you would like to get out from this webinar. Right now, type in the comment immediately, because also we will see who is interacting in the comment, who is not, and you will be given a random gift just for interacting. That's how we are. Why? Because we are that kind, we are that nice. So thank you very much for joining, guys. Thank you. I see many familiar names: Emily, Catherine, Clesia, Hannah, Sabrina. Thank you. We'll start the music, and so we are not going to waste any. If you can see my screen, let me know, so then we can start. Just type whoop whoop if you can see my screen. That's awesome. So Darren wants to reach out to people and get speaking gigs. Definitely you will get this, Darren. Now, again, this webinar, let's start from the beginning. This webinar is for you. If you want to build a speaking empire and you want to be booked consistently so you can impact more people and multiply your income opportunities, then it's for you. Also, if you're frustrated because you are a speaker but don't have enough speaking gigs. I've been there, didn't have enough. It's not funny. It's not happy days. And then also this webinar is for you if you are smart, and I'm sure you are very smart just by the very fact that you're here tonight, and understand that you need to have a simple and effective system to guarantee your bookings day after day. And that's what this webinar is for you. But this webinar is not for you if you already have all the opportunities that you need and you're happy where you are. It's not for you if you don't understand that you need to put the work and master your craft to get results. Because if you're the kind of person that thinks that just being a speaker means holding a microphone, that's it. No, that's not being a speaker. Being a speaker is an art. Being a speaker is a craft. Being a speaker is something that it doesn't just mean holding a microphone. What the heck is that? You need to work on it. And also, this webinar is not for you if you are a kind of freebie seeker, jumping from webinar to webinar, seminar to seminar, and doesn't understand. I mean, there is nothing wrong to look at stuff for free. But what's wrong, I think, is not understanding that if you want a great service and you want to get results, then you got to commit and invest in what's most important for you. So if you're not the kind of person, then you can leave this webinar right now, because that's not for you. Thank you very much, Catherine, Emily. I'm glad that you are seeing now. Yes, Darren, this webinar also is recorded. The recording will be up for only 48 hours. Now, this is what you're going to learn in this webinar. You're going to learn the 4 key elements you must have to get booked over and over again. You will learn how the speaking industry really works, and what no one talks about. What are the things that actually are real in the speaking industry, but people don't say just because it crushes the dream of impacting millions of people and making an impact in the world, and living wherever you want and traveling all over the world. Yeah, all these kind of things that people don't share when they're selling the dream, when you're starting in this industry. And also you will learn how to approach event organizer to get more speaking gigs. So these are the kind of things that you are going to learn in the next 25 minutes. I'm going to be fast. I'm going to go fast. So any question that you have, please write them down. I will address them in the Q&A at the end. Claire Ruiz wants to understand how to progress further in this area. Love it. Thank you very much. And Dave wants to find out more about the speaking directory. You will find out. And also we are going to help you. Also, we're going to share with you how we can help you to get more speaking gigs and expand your audience. And that's what we're going to mention at the end, our speaking directory. As I said, it's going to be 30 minutes, not more than that. Make sure that you engage and be active. And we have a free gift. For those of you that stay until the very end of the webinar, then we are going to send you something cool. You don't know it yet, but I'm sure you're going to thank me for it. You are going to thank me. Yeah. All right. Cool. Now, why are we doing this webinar? Well, I'm doing this webinar because 89% of speakers make less than 19 grand a year. And that's is a statistic from the Speaking Federation that I found in the US. And that's a US number. But I think knowing the UK industry, that's not much difference here. And also, we're doing this because I personally feel, and again, this is a personal feeling, but 99.99999% of speakers suck at finding gigs. In fact, I see a lot of people that come to me and they say, Simone, how can I find gigs? Now, I had more than 600 speaking gigs in the past 3 years. And a lot of people say, how can you have so many while I'm really struggling to find even one or two or find some paid gigs as well? And I think that the reason why this happens is that because there is this thing which is speaking versus business, right? I mean, speaking, this is how we want our life to be. We have, we want to go there and we say, yeah, I'm going to be a speaker because I want to make an impact, right? So I want to be a speaker because I want to make an impact. And if you're the kind of person, just write me in the comment right now. Just me. If you're the kind of person, actually write impact. Write impact right now if you're the kind of speakers that does this because you want to make an impact. But then you have also the other kind of speaker. And the other kind of speaker is the kind of speaker that say, yeah, I want to be a speaker because it's all about me. I am a freaking showman and I want to show it to the world. So if you like the show, just write show there in the comment. And I got to say that a lot of speakers, they are a bit of both, right? They are a bit of both. Yeah, the speakers there, I remember when I started, I wanted to make an impact. And also, I love the show, you know, I love the camera when it's on me. I love to be at the center of the attention. I remember when I did the gig with Les Brown in front of almost 1,000 people. I never felt so alive. I'm a stage animal. And there is nothing wrong with that. There are people that just love the show, right? And I think that's the beauty of being a speaker. But then there is this thing that comes in, which is business. Now, business is not just about money. And running a speaking business means finding the gigs, means finding the opportunities, means getting out there, building a relationship, having systems, having processes to run your business, having programs to sell, having places and building relationship with event organizer that then can pay you as well. And these are the kind of things that all happen in the back end to allow you to have that show, to allow you to have that impact that you want to have. And that's not said most of the time because you see only the front end for a lot of time. But you guys are here and you know that in order to have these 5 minutes of fame in the front end, there are hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of work to be done in the back end. And that's why here you will find that what we're going to combine tonight is this idea of speaking and business put together and help you with your business so then you can do more speaking, spending less time in the back end and more time on the front end, like I think you want to do, because that's what I want to do too. And that's what a lot of people want to do that are in this industry as speakers. But now, why is this happening? Why is it so difficult to find speaking gigs, or in particular paid speaking gigs or free speaking gigs where you can sell something? I think the reason why it's so difficult for a lot of speakers that I told to and thinking about when I started as well a few years ago is that, first of all, there is not the right information. So you go there and you have conflicting information, or you are following structures and processes or models that were good when Zig Ziglar was alive, when Zig Ziglar started, when Les Brown started, when Tony Robbins started. Man, I'm talking about 40 freaking years ago, right? Come on, wake up. The market has changed. Things have changed here. We have this thing called internet that before was just starting. We had this thing before social media that before people didn't have. And that's why a lot of speakers struggle, because they are still following an old paradigm and they are taking advice from people that started 20 years ago. But of course, if you start bloody 20 years ago, you have a strong network and you don't need to have a strong presence online. But if you're starting now, things are different, my friend. Then the other part is that they don't have the right system. So it means that they don't have the right processes to then that allows them to make the most of every single opportunities they have. Most of the time, I have one podcast or one speaking gig, and I will book multiple podcasts or multiple speaking gigs just from the back of that one. That's the system that I have. And a lot of people don't have templates, and they spend a lot of time just doing the same thing over and over again. And then the other thing is that they have no database, which means that business is a number game, guys. Having a speaking business is a number game, which means the more people you contact, and the more people you have in your database of event organizers in this case, then the more gigs you will have because you have more choice, right? But a lot of people, what they do, they don't focus on building the database of event organizers. You don't focus on building their relationship with other event organizers as well and other speakers that can give you speaking gigs. And that's why you're there behind your laptop doing your social media and wondering, oh, why no one is hiring me as a speaker? Well, how many people are you contacting? Do you have a database of speakers, of event organizers, and people that you can reach out to do interviews? Well, if the answer is no, then you have a big problem, my friend. And the reality is, if you have all these three things, it hurts. It bloody hurts. I mean, you see, this picture is gross. I know. I own it. But that's what happened when I waxed my chest before my wedding. And I promised to my wife I was going to have a wax before the wedding, and because she was complaining constantly, oh, you're too hairy. And I'm like, I'm Italian. What do you want? And I did that. And man, that was one of the most painful moments of my life. And having no speaking gigs for a speaker is the same thing. It hurts. It hurts, my friend. It hurts, man. Just write hurts in the comment. Just write, give me a hurts in the comment. If you feel the pain I was feeling there, you can see my face. Now, all good so far. Give me a whoop whoop if that's all great so far. So then we can move on, and we can move on for the next one. Just give me a whoop, 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 whoop. And yeah, ouch. Yeah, thank you, Clarice. I appreciate it. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm not going to do story. Is just that I started being no one in this industry. So some people here don't know me. So I started no one in this industry, and we started running events in a farm because I had a dream. I wanted to make an impact, and I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to be a speaker, but I didn't know how to do it. And I started doing flash mobs, crazy flash mobs with my business partner, Ben. We hired a room in a farm. That's how we started, with 2-3 people. And then we grew. And in literally 4 years, I was able to share the stage. And I'm 29 now. By the age of 28, I was able to share the stage with Les Brown, organizing events with Gary Vaynerchuk, up to 500, 1,000 people. Did a TEDx talk. I was nominated in the House of Parliament as one of the most influential migrant entrepreneurs here in the UK. I won last year the award of Best Public Speaker here in the UK by the APCTC Award. And also, I've been featured in many newspaper, publication, magazine, Sky, television, the Huffington Post. And I'm showing you this because I want you to understand, I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I've been doing this day in and day out for the past 6 years, and I got great results for myself. Great results for my client, and I want to share this because I know what I'm talking about. So if I'm sharing something, take notes, make point, because it works. Otherwise, I will not share it with you, right? Makes perfect sense. We work with clients like the Adecco Group. We have corporate clients that pay us good money. We do free gigs. We go into schools. So I've done almost anything in the speaking market here at GTEx. So that's why we are in the position to share with you what are the things that really work right now. Now, let's start with the first part, which is how does the speaking industry really works? So how does this speaking industry really works? Well, right now, the speaking industry, let's look at before, actually. Let's start before. Before there were few speakers. So speaking was something new, right? Speaking was something that few people could do because communication, it wasn't such as a commodity like now. There were people that were going through training, and the figure of the speaker was a figure of importance, of status. And then it was something new. So people were saying, who are you? I'm a speaker. Whoa. Oh my God, you're a speaker? That's great. When are you running your next seminar? And then because it was something new, they were willing to pay a lot of money just to see you speak or to hire you as a speaker because it was something that very few people could do very well. But let's see what's happening right now. Now becomes, who is a speaker? You go into a room, into a seminar, who is a speaker? Everyone is a freaking speaker. I mean, you feel like you see speakers grow like freaking mushrooms right now. So that's the new thing. Speakers are the new mushrooms. Everyone is a bloody speaker. Why? Because with social media, everyone gets inspired and there are these motivational videos that are going out. Well, before, people need to pay a lot of money to have access to at least some motivation, right? Or they went to church, or they went to a seminar. But right now, everyone is a bloody speaker. And then you go into a seminar, to a room, and someone asks you, so what do you do? And then you say, I'm a speaker. They're like, oh, another one. Jesus Christ. Another one. Are you kidding me? So everyone now is a bloody speaker. So things don't stand down that much anymore. But the good news is there is still a lot of money. But because there are more people doing speaking, then there is almost like less money available for everyone. And there are more people that are in the market that are getting higher fees paid. And then there are a lot of people that are struggling at the bottom. But the good news is still that the industry, at the moment, the speaking industry is a $43 billion, this dollar. But even if you are in pounds here, I wouldn't complain. Industry. So it's a huge industry. And because there are more speakers as well, there are more people that are exposed to the industry, which means also there are more people, more potential buyers than before as well. And that's why I think this is an overview of the speaking industry right now. And the reason why I wanted to start with this, it is because a lot of people, they say want to become a speaker or they are in the industry, but they don't take time to understand the industry inside and outside. And the reason why we are being really successful, it was because I took a lot of time to connect with who was really successful in the industry and understand how the industry I'm in works. What are the things that are good? What are the things that are bad? What people say, what people don't say, what people buy, what people don't buy, how people hire. And it takes time, absolutely. But then you have all the information. It allows you to be successful in the industry. Because if you want to be successful in any industry, you want to be at the top of this industry. Now that we have this overview, let's move on into the 4 key elements that you must have to get booked now. And how these are linked to also the speaking directory that we are launching now. Now, these are 4 key elements are, number 1, if you're thinking about an event organizer, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to, for a moment, just imagine, to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, right. Cut the crap. But I want you to imagine that you are an event organizer for a moment. So you are an event organizer and you need to choose who are your speakers for the next event. Now, I organize about 100 events a year. From smaller to larger events, but we organize about 150 events a year between us and our clients. And if I'm thinking about how do I choose who to hire as a speaker, who to call as a speaker, or other event organizer, what do they do? First of all, they're saying, how many people can you get in the room? And why is it that way? Because right now, And I was looking at a lot of statistics. It's much more difficult to get people in seminars than it was even 3-4 years ago. Why? Because there is much more stuff online, so people feel less the need to go into a seminar room. Secondly, life gets busier and busier and busier. We are full of distractions. So getting people actually to get off their arse and go into a seminar room is much more difficult. So if you're an event organizer, what do you want? Well, you want the room to be full, right? So because you want the room to be full, who do you want to hire? Well, someone that have a pool to fill the room. Now, if you're not the kind of speaker that has a pool to fill the room, then you already are struggling because suddenly you're not the first pick. So that's why you will find that this big event organizer, they will spend a lot of money to hire speakers or Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Arianna Huffington, Randy Zuckerberg, all these people that then can bring people to them. And that's why they want it. But also they are looking for another thing, right? Once they have the person can get people in the room, then their thought process goes to the second check on the checklist. Well, first of all, now I want someone who also has a large following on social media. And why is that? Well, the reason why this is powerful, it is because even if you are not the kind of person that will pull hundreds of people in a room, but if you're able to build a social media following, then the event organizer is able to leverage from your following by you sharing that you're speaking at an event, which means that you will have more people, you will naturally attract people to their event, and as well for them, it will be a great way to have a lot of media attention, a lot of social media attention, because you have already that following. So that's why they're looking for someone who has a following that we can invite to help us promote this event even more. And now they go through this checklist and they imagine you're still the event organizer. So now you have immediately the person that you know is going to get people in the room. Then you have the person that can speak and is able to spread the message of your event. And then I'll give an example actually before we move on why this is so powerful. And this is one of our clients, Daisy, and this has nothing to do with me actually. I did nothing in this transaction, just one of our clients, and she got this gig by herself. The reason why I wanted to show this, it is because she got a gig in Mexico, all expenses paid. They pay her $800 to be there as well. And that was one of her first paid speaking gigs as well. And the fact is that the reason why she got it is because she's very influential online. So as I said, nothing to deal with what I did with her. I just gave her some tips on how to negotiate with the organizer, but more than that, nothing more, right? But the organizer called her just because she was influential on social media. And then the other thing, so remember, you are a celebrity, you are this event organizer, you got this headline speaker, then you want someone that is able at least to share the message. And then what do you have? Then you're thinking about who can I have as a celebrity? And it can be a niche celebrity because most of the events are niche, right? So if they have a celebrity in their niche, someone important in their niche, then they will call them. Why? Because then again, we'll add prestige to their event. We'll add pizzazz, je ne sais quoi, pizzazz. So if you're able to build this je ne sais quoi, this pizzazz, if you're able to be a celebrity in your niche, then it's more likely then that you're going to be hired from an event organizer, right? And you don't, of course, you don't need to be like Sylvester Stallone here, or what's her name? This guy will come back to me. Jennifer will come back to me. Actually, give me. I got a blank here, but you know what I mean. You don't need to be a celebrity. You just need to be a celebrity here in your niche for people to want to hire you, right? Jennifer Lopez, thank you very much. Don't kill me, like that was all capital letters. Oh my god, I'm getting terrible for forgetting J-Lo. I know. Don't slate me. All right. You get very precious about Jennifer Lopez, guys. Okay, I'll let go Sylvester Stallone. Adrian. All right. So now you know that this is the hire process, and then at that point, then they're looking at how good you are as a speaker. Now, don't get me wrong. being a great speaker is crucial. Being a great speaker is crucial because now the level is so high that if you're not a great speaker, then you are already out. But now being a great speaker is the standard because you will find that there are a lot of great speakers around. There are a lot of outstanding speakers, but there are a lot of outstanding speakers that are without gigs. And a lot of mediocre speakers that actually have a lot of gigs. And then you will find that there are great speakers with great gigs. But why? Because they were able to build a celebrity niche around their niche. They were able to build their following, and they were able also to get people and help event organizers to get people in the room. Thanks, guys. Give me a whoop whoop. If that's you're following me so far, we are in the last part now of this webinar. So then now you're understanding how to position yourself to get gigs. If you get anything out of this webinar, this is what you want to get. To be able to position yourself, and the positioning yourself online will give you the gigs offline. That's how it works right now, guys. That's how it works right now. Unless you started 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or you did something, you won a gold medal. And even if you are a gold medalist, now you need to have following. Otherwise, people are not going to call you. So unless you did something super special, you started 15, 20 years ago and you have all your contacts and you don't have a strong and you're not clever about the online presence you build, then you're out. You don't have any more speaking gigs. And let me check all the whoop whoop here. Yep. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Tokumbo. I love that. Okay, we can move on. And now is about how can we approach event organizers now? So how now can we approach event organizer, and how does it work? Well, there is the number one, which is the most important thing. And it was in the past and is still now, personal introduction. Okay, personal introduction is still the most important thing that you can do. You know, someone else introduces you, and then is it more likely you will have the gig. But then now what happens? Before, if someone else was introducing you, then you were the gig. Now, if someone else is introducing you, then you need to send them all your online media appearances, video that you have done, so they can see how you speak. Now, if you don't have those things in place, it's very difficult now, even with an introductions, that you get a gig. Now, after you get an introduction, another great way to get gigs, and you might say, Simone, you're crazy, but it's actually podcasts. It's actually podcasts, and let me tell you why. Because podcasts, remember, who runs podcasts? Well, they are real people. And these real people are connected with real influencers. Most of the time, people will use podcasts to build an online brand so then they can run events. Now, remember this. If you're interviewed on a podcast, it's very likely you're actually being interviewed by an event organizer. And you will find that about at least 50% of people that have a podcast, they are running as well their own events. Some of them more frequently, some of them less frequently. But that's something that people don't think about. I got so many speaking gigs coming from the back end of podcasts just because I was great guest and I stood out. And then he said, you know what, I'm running this event. Can you come? And then I was thinking, wow, this is happening often. So now I'm asking them, do you run events? Do you run events? And that's something that you don't even think possible, but getting on podcasts is actually right now one of the easiest way you can get free, where you can sell something, or paid speaking gigs. And then another thing is also video. Now, you need to have videos of yourself speaking because people will ask you for videos of yourself speaking. Makes sense. You go out there saying, I am a speaker. People say, okay, let me see you speak. And then you're saying, I don't have a video of myself speaking. And they say, who? So it must be that you're not very important then. Or you are not a good speaker if you don't have videos of yourself speaking. So a great tip that I can give you right now, always film yourself speaking. Okay, you don't have to have a professional crew. Just get a freaking iPhone at the back with a good microphone and you're done. Then you can hire a crew and you can do all this other fancy stuff like we do. But at the moment, if you're already ahead in your speaking journey, great. Get great footage. Get someone filming you, because that footage will be worth millions in terms of future bookings. But then if you're starting out, just get your iPhone, but show people what you can do. Show people what you can do. And that's why this is how is the new way to get booked and to connect with the event organizer. Does it make sense, guys? Does it make sense? Just give me a whoop whoop again. If you're following me, if everything makes sense. Because now, as I said, we have been running for 30 minutes, and now you can make a choice. If you want to, you can leave right now, or if you want if you want me to share as well, if you want to listen on how we can help getting in front of event organizer and getting gigs, then stay here, because that's what I would love. That's what I would love to share with you guys. But if you're here and you say, you know what, I just got enough, that's saying you can leave. But if you're the kind of person who's just looking for the freebie, that's the free part. If you're the kind of person actually say, I want to be the top in my industry, then stay in, because you will love what we have to share, what we have prepared for you guys. And this is how it works. Now, how we can help you to get more speaking gigs now? Well, remember, what we shared before is that 89%, remember this, 89% speakers make less than 19 grand a year. And if that's you, then you can say, okay, that's me. You don't have to write down, but you know it. And also a lot of speakers, they suck at at finding gigs and booking gigs, right? And you know yourself, are you great at booking gigs, or do you suck at booking gigs? Just be honest. I used to suck at booking gigs. Now I'm great. Woohoo, right? Hashtag Episimone. And why is that? We said because they don't have the right information. So they are following information that are very, very old stuff. Then because they are following the wrong information, and I'm sure that you learned something new tonight. I'm 100% sure, because I've never seen anyone delivering this content before. That's something just I've done for me and for my clients. Then they don't have the right information, right? And then the other part is that they don't have the right system. So they're constantly wasting time. They're missing opportunities, and they're making their working life a living hell. And then the other part is that they have no database. So they don't have a database of people that they can share. They don't have a database of people that they can reach to then get those gigs, right? And now for you, it's time to make a choice. Who do you want to be, right? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the lonely speaker, pretty sad, having no gigs? Or do you want to make an impact and also have the show, right? And be in front of hundreds, tens, hundreds, thousands of people as well. Now you can choose who this kind of person you want to be. And you know that now we can help you being this kind of person. This is how we can help you. We have just launching our speaking directory, and this is something we have been working for the past 3 months, and we are going to work very hard for the next 12 months as well, because I've realized that speaking bureaus don't work that much anymore. In particular, speaking bureaus work, and for those of you that don't know what speaking bureaus are agency that book speakers. Now you will find an agency, they will take speakers, but speaking bureaus manage speakers. So unless you have already work, speaking bureaus very unlikely is going to give you a lot of work. Yeah, you might get the gig every now and then, but not that frequently. And what we want is to give you frequent bookings and to help you also yourself, to help yourself having those frequent bookings. And that's why I decided to say, you know what, speaking bureaus are not working anymore that much. And they're just working with celebrities. So unless you are really a big celebrity, then they are not working. People are not going to listen to you. And speaking bureaus are not going to listen to you. So I said, how can I do something different? Because the market has changed. Speaking bureaus were working 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And with the people that have that huge following already, that are already celebrities. But right now, what about all these hundreds of speakers, or thousands of speakers that are out there without gigs? And that's why we decided to create our directory. And the aim of our directory is to give you the right information. So to keep you constantly up to date about what's happening right now in the speaking industry. What are the hot things that you can do to get gigs? And that's where we are going to do interview with speakers that they get fees, they get paid 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 per gig. And also with people that have constant booking gigs after gigs after gigs. So we are going to make sure you connect with those people and you learn from them. So you will have the right information of what's working right now. And that's through our membership site and resource center. Then we are going to help you get in the right system. So, which means that we are working on a series of templates that you can use to send event organizers and to send your assistant, because this is something also that your assistant can do. You don't have to do it. So we are creating on a series of email templates, processes, online tools, all together, all in one place, that then you can use to get speaking gigs, to make your process more efficient, which means you make your day better because you spend less time, as I said, as we mentioned before, on the back end, but more time on the front end, right? And that's the system part. And then also, this is the most exciting part for me, because the database is the wealth. The database is wealth. That's what I've realized. I'm running a mailing list. I have following, not huge, but solid. And we got about 20,000 people around that are following me at the moment, which is not huge, but I'm able to monetize the whole process very well. So for me, having the database is what's crucial. For me, having the database is what makes the most difference. And that's why we are going to give you a database of, first of all, podcast. First of all, podcast, because we have a database at the moment of more than 1,000 podcasts. And as I said, from podcast come live gigs. So the more podcasts you're on, the more gigs you will have. I did more than 100 podcast interviews as a guest. Let me tell you, the connection I've made, the gigs that I got, the clients that I had, the introduction I had. I mean, just let me tell you, one of these podcasts I had, someone made an introduction, which ended up on me being featured, that is going to happen in January, on Entrepreneur on Fire, which is the largest, is the biggest business podcast on iTunes. They have a 1.5 million listener. That's more than a freaking Sky Television, right? Per episode. Think about what that can do for you as a speaker in terms of booking more gigs. How many people are going to see you? And that's the power of podcasts. But that's what we have at the moment. What we are building as well, is we have podcasts in business, the area of business, health, personal development, and technology. There are more than 1,000 combined, and you will love them. And then we are also building a database of actual event organizers, event planners in the corporate world, in the personal development world. And that's something that we don't have yet, but we are building at the moment. And that's why we are doing this launch right now, guys. And I will explain you our plan. And for those of you that are going to come on board with us, you are going to be so damn grateful for what we are doing. And now this is something that we are going to create. We have already the podcast database, but we're going to create a database all over the world, starting from the UK, with event organizers, event planners, people that are running from the smaller meetups to the large event, to the conferences, to events that are looking for sponsors, because something that you can do is also pay to speak. Now, some people say, really? God, pay to speak? Man, I love to pay to speak. Why? Because I don't need to create my own event. I'm going out there. They give me an audience of hundreds of people. I make good money. And sometimes the money can come from the sales that you will make, but also from the future bookings that you will get just being in front of these hundreds of people. So I want you to, for a moment, to consider and to look at the long game, because that's what you want to have, is the long game. Now, for those of you that are going to join the launch of the speaker database, for those of you that are going to join the launch, and it's going to be a crazy price, guys. I wish I didn't want even to do that, but I'll tell you why I'm doing this, and you will understand it now. I'm going to give you also a few bonuses. One is I'm going to give you access to our membership site where you can learn, you will see all the training here. You'll have training of selling from the stage, selling one-to-one, a research center with contracts, speaking contracts that you can use, sign up forms, all the things that you need when running an event and running your speaking business. Product mastery, which is how to create your product and services. Meetup explosion is how to create your meetup from 0 to 5,000 people. We have, for example, a 3,000 people meetup ourselves. Negotiation mastery, how to negotiate with venues, how to negotiate with other speakers, how to negotiate with other podcast hosts. Then you will have speaking explosion, which is how do you build a 6-figure speaking business? Then we have Book Authority. How do you write and publish a book in 14 days? Webinar Mania. How do you create and launch your webinars? Podcast Explosion. How do you start your podcast? And get on TEDx with GTEx. This is insane on how to get on TEDx stage. So this is all you need to run a 6-figure coaching business and speaking business. We have it there on a membership site, and I'm going to give it to you included completely for free. All these trainings that took us the past 2.5 years to build for you guys. So then you can make the most of all the opportunities that you will have from this database that we create for you. And then this is the second bonus that we are going to give you. And I want you to remember one thing. Remember this: speakers give speakers work. So just write it in a comment again. I want you to get it in your mind. That was for me the biggest breaking point, that speakers give speakers work, right? Speakers give speakers work. Repeat after me: speakers give speakers work. All right, cool. We got this. And this is why we are going to have access to our GTEx Family Facebook group. And these are all speakers, coaches, and trainers, and they're all there to support each other. Now, I give a lot of speaking opportunities to our members. I gave a lot of speaking opportunity. I receive actually speaking opportunities from our members. One of our clients just contacted me and say, "Oh, I might be able to get you on a speaking gig in Mexico." I'm like, "Great, awesome, all expenses paid, awesome, right?" And because the reality is, speakers give speakers work. So by you collaborating with each other, you will be able to get more speaking gigs. And remember, this is not a selfish thing, because we are in this industry together. And that's why, if you know me, if you know GTEx, GTEx stands for Growing Together Exponentially. And the reason why I call this company, Ben and I, GTEx, it is because we believe that together we can achieve more than by ourselves. So for you, you are able to collaborate and give each other speaking gigs, and we will facilitate that collaboration within that. So if you're looking at now, total value, it could be £5,000. I might just put a number there, looking at what you could pay if you have to get those things separately in the industry. But you can just, based on what you said, I don't want you to forget even the 5,000. Just think about a value that is in your head. Because I don't like, this is today, will be valued $1 million. But just for today, you will have it for 50 cents. No, it's not the kind of speaker. For me, that was a number that I would be willing to pay to get it. Just think about that number for you. But of course, this is why I want to do this crazy launch. It's just one payment of £297. It's just one payment of £297. And you can see right now that you can get it from the bar that is coming on the side, from the thing on the side. And the reason why I'm doing this, it is because I'm going to have this only for 30 people. Only for 30 people. Why am I doing this? Because the speakers directory is not complete. So far, we have only the podcast directory. Now, I need to hire a researcher to then work full-time on building this database, because I want this to be the most insanely awesome database that you can find in the speaking industry. Now, that costs money. So what I'm going to do, we are going to take the cash that we get from people that will join tonight, from these 30 people, which is, I made the calculation, 30 people, 297 will be around £8,000. And we will reinvest the £8,000 in this process. So then you guys can not only have all the training, but we will work with you to make sure that this database is going to be awesome. So we will ask you questions. You will help us making this database the most awesome database. You will help us also sharing the event organizers that you know. And that's how, by collaborating, we can create something that the speaking industry has never seen before. This is the thing that I always wanted to have, but I didn't have. And that's only for 30 people, guys. So what I want you to do, I want you to join in right now. So join in right now. For those of you that say, yes, I see where this is going. I see what Simone is about and GTEx is about. I see what this can do for me as a speaker. You will already have 1,000 podcasts you can contact. You think with 1,000 podcasts, even if you go on 10 of them, you will not make £297 back? Well, come on. So this is just for me to have the money to then not take money from the other side of the business, and make sure that this process is self-funding itself. That's why I'm doing this. And we are already the researcher ready. We are already the researcher ready, which I need to follow to then start getting the live event organizer. But at the same time, you can start accessing all the training. You can start accessing the database of the podcast only for £297, guys. Only £297. Rosie, yeah. Oh, thank you very much for joining. Yeah, speakers give speakers work. So what I want to do right now is I want you to join it. I want you to join it because in this way we can work together to create something that has never been seen before in the speaking industry. That's why we only have 30 people, because then we will spend time with you as well. We will ask you a question. We will help you out. I already have event organizer I can recommend you to. If you are looking to work with young people, I have already 5 organizations that I can make personal introductions to. And it's all paid work in school, and it's something I've been doing for the past 6 years. That's how I supported myself as a speaker when I started. I worked in about 100 schools a year. Now I slowed down massively this year because I couldn't get GTEx to $250,000 without cutting on in the schoolwork. But I'm still going there every now and then. It's something that I love. So this is immediately something, a connection I can make. So then for those of you that love speaking in front of young people and want getting paid for it as well, but then without the hassle of getting the gig, because the organization will hire you to get the gig for you, that's something I will already give you guys. Why? Because I'm invested. I need this for case studies. I need this for case studies. I need this to say, I need people to say, yes, I've joined a speakers directory. This is the speaking gigs that I got as a result of this. So then when I'm launching properly in January, then by January, we will prove the price up to £997 a year. So then for you, it's going to be a one payment for £297. It's going to be last for 12 months. After 12 months, you can decide. You can cancel or stay on. But for 12 months, you will have access, full access, completely for the speaking directory, with all the speaking opportunities that we give you, with the podcast opportunities that we give you. And that's something that I've never seen done before. And as I said, the reason why I do this, I need case studies. I need to get great results. And I need also to get the researcher, so then we can self-sustain this process without taking money from other parts of the business, because we want to make other investments. Make sense? So if that sounds cool to you guys, say whoop whoop. Make sure that you join, because we had we had about more than 30 people on the call. Then tomorrow that's going out to more than 10,000 people that don't even know that this exists yet. So I'll get the 30 people whether you get it or not. So if you want to be in, great. Then you will reap massive benefits. When you've joined, just comment done or comment joined, so then I can see who has joined here. Now I'm going to open the floor now to different questions, and I already said it. Some of you might say, what's the catch? I already say I don't have time. Some of you might say, no, what if I don't have time to get to the speaking gig? Yeah, you can. The process is designed for you to outsource it. You can give it to a virtual assistant that you can pay $5-10 an hour to do that. And I can find the gigs and book the podcast for you and book the gigs for you. So it's something that you can outsource. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I'll teach you as well how to outsource it. And also some people say, oh, what if it doesn't work for me? Well, what do you mean if it doesn't work for you? You got to just apply, man. Build your online presence and build your speaking gigs. Awesome, Dave. Thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate it. Welcome on board. Thank you for joining. And now it's time for the Q&A. I'm going to be here for the next 15 minutes for a Q&A, and where you can ask me any question about this project, any question about what we want to build, any question that you have, because I'll love you to join. You made the time, you got the effort to come here on this webinar. For GTEx Lifetime members have this included. If you are a GTEx Lifetime member on this webinar, you have it included. So you don't need to pay for this. It's something that we are going to give you as a gift, because our lifetime membership is £10,000. That's the least we can do for you. For everyone else, guys, make sure it's £297 and you can get it right now. I see already many people getting it, which is super cool. Thank you very much. Now, what I need now, I want to ask you, what questions do you have? Now, you've seen what we have created for you. I want you to type your questions that you have. It can be about speaking gigs, can be about the speakers directory. What questions do you have? So then I can answer them. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to recap what's included while you're writing these questions. So you will have the interviewers that are serious impact in terms of speaking in front of audiences of thousands. And I'm doing another interview with a billionaire, Jeff Hoffman, which I had a chat yesterday, and we did already one interview on the podcast, and it has a great way to get speaking gigs. So make sure I'm going to interview on that. Then we'll give you the templates. At the moment, the templates are not there yet in the site, but we are building them in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So all the templates within the next 2 to 3 weeks will be ready. Then the database, the one which is already ready, is the podcast. Within the next 2 months, we will have a solid database of event organizers here in the UK mainly, and then we will expand overseas. Then you will have unlimited access for a year to our membership site with all the trainings that we mentioned before, so you can make the most of the opportunities you have, and also a community to the GTEx family, so also help and create connection and recommendation, so then you can have more gigs. And this is an active effort that we are doing here at GTEx, because only the speakers that already have the database, that already have the contacts and the connection, they are the one at the moment, and the list, they are the one at the moment making money. All the other are making none. So in order for you to keep making an impact, you need to sustain yourself. And I'm sure that some people want to do this just because of their heart, and some other people want to do this because of the lifestyle that you can have. Personally, I do this because of legacy and scalability. I'm not interested in having a fancy lifestyle. I mean, my wife had to fight with me to get me to New York on holiday. I was saying, no, this is the busiest period of the year. In fact, I'm flying tomorrow. And I was arguing, this is the busiest period of the year. I don't want to go to New York. And then the reality is I'm actually blessed that my wife creates the time and the space for me to switch off from work and all these thoughts of global domination and the hand scalability they have for GTEx, and get me to enjoy life other than what I'm doing naturally and normally, which is playing basketball, which is something I do constantly. Anna, yes, right. So Anna, if you have purchased the podcast directory, get this offer right now, and I will send you the £97 back from last time. Right? So you have, you can get the program right now, and I will send you the refund from the other one because is included. So that's something that I will do. So let me know when you've done, and I will get you the refund sorted as soon as I see the payment coming in. Also, something that we are doing, we are creating joint ventures with someone that can help you. We are creating joint ventures with someone that can help you getting more do it for you. So getting you on podcast. Just all today to create this partnership that we discussed. So if there are some things that, for example, you have a team and you want to outsource to someone else, then also we have the person that can help you, that has already a connection. She's called Deborah Mendes. So make sure that you will connect with her, and you will receive also the next part and how that the service will work. For those of you that say, you know what, I just want to outsource it, I don't want to do it, where you pay a monthly retainer to her. I negotiated their prices down just because of this launch. So for those of you that then, you don't have to do it, of course, you can do it yourself. But for those of you that are already running good speaking businesses, then this is an additional offer that we are going to put with Deborah Mendes. And that's something that we are building for the future, because your business will be different at different stages, right? You have the stage where you do everything yourself, and you have the stage where other people will do stuff for you. Right? And I don't know where you are right now. You might be at a stage where you do everything yourself. You will do it yourself. That's fine. you are at the stage where you are ready to get other people and to invest money in other people so that you have more time to do more important stuff, then that's great. That's an opportunity for you. So we want to be able to serve you whether you are in the situation or another as well. So I'm looking again for other questions. There are, let me as well put this here. Now there are some people that asked me before about what if that's not going to work? What if you're not going to do it? And some, you've seen me. I've been around for now consistently for 6 years. I know for some of you it's not that many, because some people will say, "Oh, I've been around for much longer," right? And I'm gonna do it. I'm the kind of person who follows through. So if I promise something, I'll do it. One of the other reasons why I'm doing it is because that also your commitment is forcing me to do it. Because my ethos, and this is the ethos of GTEx, for me and Ben, we don't want to let anyone down. We don't want to let anyone down. We want to make sure that every single person here is taken care of. And that demonstrates with all our seminars, all our events, all our online programs. And so I promise you, we're going to get it done. I promise you, we're going to create this together. So anyone else that has done it, then make sure that you can, right now you have the last few minutes. Actually, let me check to get the offer, because you have the last 6 minutes at the moment to get it. And then tomorrow is going out to a database of more than 10,000 people. So I will get 30 people anyway. So make sure that if you want more gigs, and if you want to be part of this project, if you are invested in a community, if you're the kind of person is the kind of person who just wants to take, then this is not the right for you. That's not what GTEx is about. But if you're the kind of person that loves collaboration and is excited about creating something that is not in the industry, is excited about the bigger picture of what we are creating, about the opportunities you will have as a speaker, then this is the right thing for you. So make sure that you join right now. Let me share with you something while a few more people will join as well, because you will have 6 minutes, 5 minutes now before joining. And thank again for Dave and for Hannah that commented as well to get to get access to this program. There is something that a lot of people ask me, which is going back that is regarding personal introduction. Personal introduction are, as we said, the most powerful thing to do to get gigs. And we did with our members, we do the best we can to match and give those personal introductions. And I can already make personal introductions to, if you are in the tech space, in the startup space and tech space, I can already give you access to event organizers that run 2 to 3 events a week. 2 to 3 events a week. I speak very often them. A few clients, great for exposure as well. So that's something that we do, and we will look at who you are, and we will look at your speaking style, and that will make the relevant introduction. If we can make them right now, that's great. Otherwise, some people will have to wait, depending from if we have the right access to the right network, because it's something that, as I said, I'm constantly building. Because that's me. I'm constant organizers. And there's something also I can teach you about building a network of organizers. There is a resource that a lot of speakers know that exists, but they don't know how to use it very masterfully. And you will see that in the course called the Meetup Explosion inside the membership. But it's Meetup, right? It's Meetup. Meetup is insanely great for connection and getting speaking. Now, there are a lot of people, you go on Meetup, you contact the event organizer, and then they blast the same message to 100, 200 event organizers. Responses they get, 0. Now, there is one thing that I've always done to get gigs, and it worked every single time. I went to that meetup, right? It's something that works incredibly well. I went to that meetup, and this is mainly for people who are going looking gigs where they can sell. You go to the meetup and you connect first with the event organizer, and without even pitching anything, you're asking them how you can help them. And that's, for example, how I got on stage with Les Brown, right? I went to the event organizer. I knew she was bringing Les Brown on because it was all over the place. It was all over Facebook. And I contacted her and said, can I help you? I've run more than 200 events with my company. And she said, it's my first event. Now, who would have thought that? And just because I reached out and asked, can I help? Then I ended up helping her creating the schedule for the event. And from the schedule, then we talked about emceeing for him. Now, was that crucial for my speaking career, that one gig with Les Brown? Absolutely yes. That was a turning point. So you never know when your turning point will be able to be that catalyst to provide. So then with you guys joining, we are able then, as I said, to hire that researcher so they can keep building this database. And also we are able to hire people that can get this event, can give you introductions and connections. Thus, launching it properly be 9,000 will be £1,000 a year for being part of this. Right now it's going to be only 297 and that's it. But people will have 1,000 just for it, not with the other bonus, just for this. They will pay £1,000 starting from January. That's why I want to get 30 people before January so then I can build this with you guys and create something that I know that you want and you get results. All right, guys. I'm seeing here we have one left for the haven't joined yet. So for those of you that haven't joined yet, make sure that you do it right now because it is going to be a huge point for your speaking career. It's going to be a huge turning point for your speaking career. Again, I'm going to send you, for those of you that now that have stayed until now, I'm seeing Emily, Anna, Sabrina, Dave, John, Yasmin, Kami, Xoan, T, Stephanie, Hina, Tokumbo, Claire Louise, T, Fola. I'm gonna send you a present, so I'm sure you will love it. You will find it on your inbox. So I've got your names here, and I'm gonna send you that gift that I've promised just at the end. And if you're here and you haven't gotten yet, you're not a lifetime member, you haven't joined yet, you have, what's that? How long do you have? 16 seconds. Just join now. Just do it right now before I quit. 10, 9, oh my God, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I feel like, you know, these kind of speakers that get to just taking the piss, guys. I'm not the kind of that. If you see what I'm talking about, I'm going to remove the offer now. If you see what I'm talking about and who I'm about and taking the piss of the industry and people that use this kind of techniques, that's great. If you took it personally, great anyway. Please get some sense of humor because life is more fun when you laugh. Ready to go. I'm flying to New York tomorrow, so I'm flying to the moon. Da-da-bum, da-da-da-dum. See you next week when I come back, and also you will get immediate access to all the training. And I'm going to build next week as soon as I come back, as I said, all the templates for you so that you can have email templates that you can use. And this is the one that we personally use to get me on an average of 5 to 7 external guest podcasts or gigs, speaking gigs every week. All right, guys, thank you very much. Seeing you. Safe trip. Thank you very much, Tokumba. Really appreciate it. Love gifts. Yeah, absolutely, Sabrina. Thank you very much. I hope you joined, Sabrina. If you haven't joined right now. Well, I mean, it's too late. But anyway. You will see the follow-up email, guys. For those of you that haven't joined yet, make sure that you do it because it's super awesome. Okay. All right. I'm going. See you. Have a great night. Ciao.